What's up guys? So it's been a while since we've actually taken a look at a new case, and that's mostly because we haven't actually really needed to get a case, and to be honest there isn't that much innovation happening in the case space. But we found a need for something new because we wanted to rebuild our studio's gaming rig into something a little bit more fresh, and for that we decided to take a look at the new NZXT H5 Flow. Okay, so this is the new NZXT H5 Flow. And it does look very similar to their previous cases. NZXT cases for the last couple of years haven't really offered anything new, but now it looks like they're probably one of the only ones really trying to innovate in this space. The H5 Flow is a mid-ATX tower case, and it's pretty much the same shape as their normal cases, but it's got a few cool little features. To begin with, we have the glass panel. It's a tempered glass panel, and I'm pretty sure it's exactly the same as all of the panels for their 500 series. It unclips from the back, it's a toolless entry, you simply just click it forward, and it's got the little balls that actually sit in the top there, and you lift it out. The difference on this one is that we've actually got something with a bit of a tint. I've never actually had an NZXT case yet with a tint, so that's pretty cool to see. And then internally, it's pretty much the same layout as you always get. Obviously, the motherboard goes here, you've got the extra NZXT bar here, although it doesn't have the NZXT logo in it, which usually they do. Your front mount panel here for your fans does come out. It's toolless, so you can just simply use the thumb screws to take that in and out. And that's pretty much what you get from the inside. But there are some differences in this case which really do make it flow. Obviously from the front, we've got plenty of airflow in this case because we've got this beautiful 2/3 panel at the front with all the ventilation. And what actually makes it really unique is the fact that you can take it off on its own. So it does come off just like that. It's got actually quite a nice design in the front. And you do have a dust filtering on the inside. Now that's pretty unique to these cases because usually, or particularly on the older ones, you couldn't take any of the front panel off because they gave you that piece on the inside to be able to remove and put your fans in and out. And they have actually left that inside, but they've also given you the ability to take the front off as well. The back of the case can also be removed with toolless screws, so you can simply just undo them, although they do have the tool head if you do get them quite tight and you want to remove them off. And you pretty much get a typical view of what you get inside NZXT cases. These are actually built super solid. I've never had any issue with any NZXT case in the past. You are really paying good money for a good case, and these kind of cases will actually roughly set you back about £100 at the moment, which isn't bad for the quality you're getting. On the internals, we've obviously got lots of different tie wrap so we can put things down. We've got the extra pieces where we can put cable ties if we need to. And we also have a mounting tray here, which should be toolless, but is really, really tight. So we'll need a screwdriver to undo that for a couple of SSDs. Now, if you look at the bottom, you can actually tell that there isn't that much space for anything like a hard drive. You've got the place for your PSU in the basement here, but then we have a unique feature at the front there. Now that unique feature is, of course, it's an extra fan, and it's all the way down there into the bottom, just here. And what it does is it actually is supposed to take air from underneath the case, just there where it's got an extra filter, and push it up into your graphics card. Now that's a pretty cool feature. It's a little bit of innovation from a company that we haven't seen for a while. I do know that some of the Fractal cases are actually planting in a nice little panel here so a front fan can actually blow up, but nobody's actually built a specific unit yet that is built for doing that. Now this case does come with two fans with it, so we've got a 120mm NZXT fan in the rear, and we have a 120mm fan in the GPU cooler, but that's all they actually provide with it. I do believe if you get the non-flow version, they actually provide a couple of RGB fans, but the case itself is roughly £30 to £40 more expensive. Now, of course, to build into this, I will want some RGB fans, and we do actually have one in stock for the back. It's an NZXT RGB ARE2. And I'm going to look at getting a couple for the front, so probably a couple of 140s. Now in the front you can actually fit either two 140 fans or two 120 fans, as well as a 240 or a 280mm radiator, but they've actually given you a little bit of an extra pop compared to the previous models. Now the previous models had this really super annoying piece where in the top of the case you would actually get one slot for either a 140mm fan or a 120mm fan, and I always found them super annoying because it limited exactly what kind of cooling systems you could put in them. But for this case they've actually changed. If we look at the top, we can see that we've got the front I/O. It's actually built into the case and not the front panel, which is really cool because it means we can remove this without any extra cables. And we have a power button, a USB 3, just a single one, which is okay, but it would have been nice to have had two of them on here. A USB-C, so if you have that on your motherboard, you can easily plug into that, and your dual audio connection, which should do your microphone and your speakers. But where they've actually used to have the single fan piece in here, they've actually replaced it with a super long ventilation system with a magnetic dust filter. Now that's not unusual for most other branded of cases, but for these NZXT ones, it's kind of cool to see, to be honest. Now there are some limitations to this. Even though the case is pretty wide, they've only provided the holes here for something like a 120mm fan or a 240mm radiator. You wouldn't actually get away with putting a 280 on here because they haven't provided the extra holes that are needed to be able to do that. I'm not exactly sure why they've done that, because they do seem to have plenty of space from the radiator itself into the back where this panel is, but maybe that panel is actually why they've done it. I'm not quite sure, but either way. Now this is a quick tour of the NZXT H5 Flow, some of the really cool features that they've got, and most of the rest of it is actually pretty basic. If you are to buy one of these, just be aware that there are no spaces to put your 3.5-inch hard drives, but if you're somebody like us that don't really use them anymore, this case is going to be perfect for you. There's plenty of space to put your 2.5-inch SSDs, and also obviously if you have your storage devices on your motherboard as M.2s, you don't have a problem there. So that is our quick tour of the NZXT H5 Flow. Let us know in the comments what you think about this case, or if you're thinking about getting one. If you've got any questions about it, make sure you drop them in the comments below, or feel free to join our Discord server and we'll try to answer anything we've got there. The next thing for us to do on this case is obviously build into it, but we do need to order a couple of those front fans because we don't have any in stock. And hopefully this actual GPU fan does something a little bit more useful than make noise. The system we're going to be pairing this with is our studio gaming rig, and it does currently have an Intel Arc GPU installed in it, which is going to look fantastic in this case. But I do really hope that this front fan, this GPU facing fan, really gives it a little bit more airflow that it needs. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you like this kind of content, and we'll catch you in the next one.